So, hopefully this is recording. Let's see. Double check it. Yeah, it is. Sorry, double check that, guys. This is the first time I've been using this program, and I'm a little bit anxious about getting it wrong. Anyway, hi there, I'm Kaya McFresh. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this particular video. Before anything else, this is being recorded on the 3rd of May, or June? The 3rd of June 2020, so I think most people know what's going on right now. And obviously, unequivocally, Black Lives Matter. Not all lives matter until Black Lives Matter. There will be links below to go donate to bail for protesters in the situation. I know that I entirely disagree with how things have gone on the side of the American government dealing with this and the police force, so yeah. Black Lives Matter. That person should have died. Moving on into the video, obviously feel free to discuss your opinions more on that in my comments or anywhere. I am open to hear voices, but be respectful of what's going on. Anyway, that is off. Now, I didn't want to ignore it because it felt disingenuous. It's on everybody's mind. You might be seeing this in the future when it's not. Just take this as another piece of evidence that this was a shocking and upsetting time for most people. Anyway, today we're going to talk about something which hopefully will upset or shock most people, because I don't think most people will see it. My comic book starting, air quotes around starting, because it's kind of more of a practice run, and I might keep a lot of it to myself because I'm practicing around with a bunch of writing styles, and it's maybe not going to be the best paced story ever, but I do think it's important to get practice, which does bring me on to what I want to talk about as well with this comic called First Drafts. Everybody has a first draft of something. Everybody has their original sketch, but a lot of us, including myself, can really struggle with the idea of not getting it perfect even in the first sketch. Might overwork the whole thing trying to get it just right. I've done that plenty of times. But I'm currently trying to live in the mantra of, like, I can't remember where the quote originally comes from. I will hopefully be able to send the description. That, you know, first draft is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to just get that story down. You're writing down your quotes, you're writing down your inspirations. You are just getting down the base elements of that piece. And so I ask for a little bit of understanding, because I'm going to be showing you my art, and it's not going to look as nice as my already quite messy, fully illustrated pieces. So let's just start with this. So it starts off, you know, you have every good intention and you kind of get like details in, but I have found consistency is one of the most difficult things for me, and this messiness, also an issue. Obviously, some of these lines are more professional than others. Some of them aren't professional at all. And I'm going to be having a lot of trouble with hands during this, but a big part, look at them tiny hands, of why I'm even doing this in the first place is because I draw a lot of static pieces where people are standing and posing. Let's find you an example. I'm in the rough folder. Now I need to wait for it to load. Or wait, actually, there we go. I did originally sit in that, but then when I was sorting out OBS, it kind of got put into another thing because I was doing my tests. So here, this is the character who'll be in this, but not the main character you were just seeing on that front page. Actually, I have that character. I have that character right here. Why don't I show you him who's on that first page? So, Landon, our main male human protagonist. I say like those differentiators because I may give him someone to partner up with, maybe like to balance him out. I've only done about 10 pages so far, so we're really in the preliminary stages, and again, it is very much a draft rather than my final piece. But yeah, I do a lot of illustrative pieces like this, and the poses are noticeably rigid. They're not really the way where people, how we'd see people standing, you know? Again, with the clack, he's a little bit better, but then the feet bit looks weird. There's a lot of rigidity in my art. Oh, I'm so struggling. And a big part of that is that I really struggle with not like making it look exactly as I've pictured it in my head, but I don't have the skills here to do that. And so, you know, this one, although I am very proud of it and I think it's very interesting, bones, I'll show off the bones in every single video. Yeah, I do that because that was the first time I ever drew like a full skeleton. And that's still progress forward. This is very recent, and I do think that I've done some good work with it, but I still don't think it's how I pictured it in my head the first time, and very much the same with Elvira. And not so much with Landon, although I have a lot of trouble with the proportions of arms, and I know that the standard is like that the waist is where the elbow would sit, and then the hips are where the wrist should sit. But I find it really hard to make that look right. I very much struggle with proportions in all situations, and I also very much struggle with consistency, because as well, if we go Shikosu to Elvira to Landon here, you can see there's not a super consistent style. I guess those two are a bit more similar, but then when you get closer in Elvira, she has texturing added, both in the fur pattern and the shading of the fur, where it's Landon is a slick boy. He has no softness, and that even includes on the skin where things would be soft. But I kind of forget how that looks on human characters. It's not something I think works super well on anthro characters. And yeah, so I have a lot of rigidity in my art, and it's almost obviously viewable in this as well. I also very much struggle with perspective. Again, another thing that I'm hoping this comic will help me with, because in my experience, the only way I've ever gotten better is to be watching other people talk about the art that they're making, watch them making the art, watch people talk about the different tools they have, and experimenting around a lot myself. I work with Fire Alpaca because it's entirely free and I am very, very broke. I'm not saying that for you guys to be like, oh, it's so bad for you, I'm so sorry. Like, it's life. But I am, so I have limited tools, and I wouldn't love putting out videos where I'm using something illegally onto the internet for everyone to see. So I can't use any other program. I can't just go download like a cracked version, because I don't want that on my name. It's not something I want to be associated with. I think there's very little wrong with doing that, but I know that not everyone shares that opinion. As well, obviously there's caveats and asterisks to the sky high, but for me, just sticking with the Fire Alpaca for now. I would be very happy to try out any other programs. If any drawing-like thing ever wants to offer me a free trial, I'm always down. But yeah, for now, Fire Alpaca works for me. And when I say works for me, I mean it crashes, but it's got a really good recovery feature, so I can't complain. But yeah, you might notice you might notice a bunch of inconsistencies in my art and bits that I've missed and not filled in properly, and how rough I do these things. I'm very much amateur self-taught. Yes, I went to college, but I flunked out, so I don't think that counts as me properly being taught. Well, me properly learning it from being taught. I don't think I took on everything I should have from there. But the circumstances surrounding that were terrible, because one of my best friends had just died and I was falling behind for about 1.5 years. And I kept coming up against more things that were really, really hammering away at my mental health and my ability to keep going. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a stressful, horrible thing. But you gotta move forward. And moving forward means that since I didn't get all I could have out of that, I need to now put in a lot of effort on my own to get anywhere. And observational drawing and life drawing were two of the things that helped me most, and their whole thing was that you draw lots of sketchy things, you abandon them halfway and start something else when it's just not working for you. And I think that's really important. I hope it's a normal thing that artists know about, and that I'm not making any news for anyone here, but yeah, I think the best way to get good at drawing anything is to draw it 10 times in a row in exercises. And if you get really sick of that thing, find something else, even if it's just drawing real life things or drawing pictures of your pets. Just try doing that like 10 times and compare between those over like, you know, a few weeks. Like, say you did 10 in a month. You could be doing a few during the week, little sketches, and you can see where you've developed and where your eyes changed, how it observes things, and translate that into art. And I think that's about my whole method of going forward, is just to keep drawing things over and over again. But need to see if that'll work. I guess you guys might find out before I do. And these story things, like going back, that makes no sense what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so this story is going to be based on, like, well, Landon's story isn't really based on anything IRL. He's not really based on anyone I know. Landon is entirely just Landon. He's meant to be kind of short-tempered and moody, not really great at taking orders from authority, and is a little bit sensitive to having, like, too much expectations on him. He gets quite worn out from it, like, emotionally. And so, yeah, Landon has obviously got faint little hints of all different people in my life and of myself. I feel every character we make is a reflection of something or someone, even if we don't know them, like, a 1 degree of separation. We know millions of people by degrees of separation between, like, 2 to, like, 10. And I know that sounds insane, but if someone you know has a link to someone particularly famous, they're going to follow that back, and most of their friends are also going to follow it back, mentioning, oh yeah, this person, you know, my cousin's aunt's friend, kind of examples. We have these, like, stories of other people that we know, and I think that forms a lot of characters for a lot of people. Maybe it's not true of everyone. I'm not an expert. I am not even a professional artist. People have paid me, but it's not regular. Hopefully that'll change. But before then, I have to actually make something worth buying, which I hope will be the comic that follows this one. Because, yeah, the story is going to be kind of personal later on. And I don't know if it's really going to suit... I don't know if it's really going to be something I want to share with every single person ever. But I'm just going to have to wait and see. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Maybe it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be like, I need to share this, but I don't expect so. So yeah, the current comic, we're meeting Landon. He is waking up with some pretty terrible news. The woman who he's been sleeping with's partner found out that they were sleeping together, and this was due to a pregnancy scare and intense interrogation of the lovely lady Lisa, who happens to be involved in this affair. I don't like cheating IRL, I don't really approve of it, but there's, again, certain asterisks that go with that, and in this case, it's an emotionally abusive husband, as well as physically abusive, so it's pretty normal for people to cheat in that circumstance. They don't really have the autonomy given to them to say what they do and don't want, and that's awful, and I feel sorry for everyone who is in that position. So that's why Landon's both our main character, but not really a protagonist. It's kind of self-centered, but hopefully the arc will develop on its own and be pretty interesting to go through. So yeah, he's waking up to find out that, and there's a series of, like, snapshot sort of things. It's meant to be them enjoying one another's company in one way or another. But he is looking at these freaking out because he has been informed that the person who she's married to is, yeah, literally out for his head on a platter. So, begging for help from anyone or anything, any god. I think we've all had those moments of just please let this happen. And that results in a very not human creature appearing at his home as a result of him calling out to them. And he has no idea that there's anything other than human beings in the universe. Obviously, I believe he would have the thought of, there could be something out there, but I don't actually know, you know, agnostic kind of belief in aliens. But it's very shocking to see something unhuman, but yet very humanoid, very human-like, just something uncanny. And that's our demon Kitty. Now Kitty, I haven't shown you in any of these, and that's because I haven't redrawn her before this comic, unlike the other characters who I designed. But again, in my defense, this character Kitty has 2 designs as is, and they're meant to be at 2 different points in the comic. So this current design has been around for like 7 years. The one that I'm using in this right now. It is modified and simplified down from how it was in all of my illustrative pieces and a bunch of pixel art, which were also done in bases. So if you come across those, the base ones, I did not make the base for that, and I usually credit the people in the description below. And usually try and link to the actual base itself as well. But off topic. Kitty has been around for like a long time. She's one of the original characters that was made for this. There was like 3 characters who were made for this originally, and now it's a whole world, and it's a lot to hold on to, but a lot of stories have developed over 7 years, so yeah, her design hasn't been quite updated. Landon's had never been done before, so obviously he got his full piece, and obviously as well, this blue one's been here since the start, kind of a spoiler. Demons! But yeah, the demon appears to him, and causes him enough distress to pass out, then offers him a hand up, because you gotta be nice. Customer service is a big pro. Now we have a big, huge One Piece illustration. I say One Piece, not the anime or the swimsuit, but like it's just a piece. I've not done multiple frames. And this is for exposition, because you always need a little bit of exposition when you're starting a story. And this is kind of a shortened, more compact version of the story I've been typing physically, for the reason of I don't want to get obsessive into things. I don't want to have to draw like 20 pages just for what's essentially the main push of the plot. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like I don't want to spend 20 minutes with characters going shot, reverse shot, shot, reverse shot, shot, reverse shot, displaying and explaining this world. We're literally just going to have a big old blackboard that comes out of nowhere because the demons have magical powers and they can make things appear. They can create things based on their, let's say, physical presence. It's one of those things where like I have to use a lot of smudging to just be like, I'll figure that out, but that's the main idea. I can't first drafts. I keep coming back to that. But yeah, this will be exposition page. Although I really need to fix her legs. Her knees are so far down. I did not notice that. Like she has really low down knees, and this leg's pretty thin compared to her her back and hips. So yeah, those were the first 4 pages, mostly just trying to learn about formatting, placing things down, and as well as visually showing things. I do this thing a lot where I kind of cut off characters' faces. This isn't actually because I'm like, oh no, I don't want to draw their faces. It's kind of just because like sometimes focusing something only on a character's head feels very artificial to me. I know this is all artificial, but it's not like you can imagine multiple angles all the time if you're just in someone's face. And also, you know, I think it's important to at least try and draw more than just pretty faces and hair all the time, because, you know, I can do that, but then I can't do hands. You know, like, I try and draw as many in this, but sometimes I definitely do hide them. Look at that tiny weird hand. He's got a little tiny shrimpy baby hand. Just say it's faint in effect. I'm kidding. But yeah. You know, I'm trying to draw things that I don't always draw all that well. I think her knees are pretty low again here. But, my perspective. Again, it's hard, very much hard for me to be consistent, and I'm hoping to get better at that, because these legs look crazy. But yeah, let's close these first 4 pages down. I'm just gonna say yes. I'm sure the changes weren't too dramatic. And we're going to bring out these once that stops loading. Sorry for the little bit of lag. Like I said, Fire Pack is free and I very much enjoy it, but it definitely struggles with multiple layers. I used it for animation, but it's very much designed for GIF animation, and I was making like a 30-second animation available on my Vimeo. I don't think it's available on here. It might be available on here. If not, I'll link to the Vimeo on the bottom. I would upload on here, but it's for college, so I don't really know what the rules are. But yeah, this panel is a lot of examples of focusing in on face and hair, as well as trying to recreate, keep a character in the same pose, but I feel like he looks super rigid here. Like, at least Landon's, he's pretty rigid, but he's not as bad. And hey, look, it's the hand. That hand looked way worse to me yesterday than it does today. It's still tiny and weird, but yeah. And yeah, the whole time that Kitty and Landon be talking and discussing this contract of agreeing to become a demon in order to escape the afterlife rather than death. He's still gonna die, as probably noticeable by, oops, turning them all on. Wait, wrong one. The end of this one. Having someone with a baseball bat gonna crack his noggin. And yeah, you also noticed that I've, okay, gone, vanished. You might notice that I've also not actually added in any text boxes, any conversational boxes. These will be added in post because I really don't care about covering up some of my pieces. I would just rather have something back there and then make the bubbles afterwards. And yeah, so Landon does eventually agree when his life is pretty much guaranteed to him that he has no way that he gets out of death here. He's not going to be physically strong enough to fight these people. It is written in stone, essentially. He agrees to have an immortal afterlife in another planet in a completely different society. And after this, he doesn't actually realise that he's not just signing up to go like immediately. And so Kitty vanishes. As soon as he's finished signing, her job's done. She's not putting in any more for it. She is gone. And yeah, it kind of shocks him, but not as much as being beaten to death by his girlfriend's boyfriend and best friend. And that's pretty much a bad time. And do this. We have a little while of blackness until his eyes come back to him, much like the comic in the first 4. Can you imagine reusing the thing? I thought it looked more visually like a style, but no, I'm not so sure. But we come across another demon creature. This creature is known as Relo. They are a demon, but they are an elder demon. There is a big difference between demons and elder demons. But I'm just going to explain it as simply as I can right now. More details later. Elder demons are creatures born from the blood of an actual god. And the younger demons, called Hokies, are literally just recruits who have a tiny bit of the life force of an elder in them. But they don't have the power or the same level of magic or the same stature as a elder. And to find out why the elders are making people, you're going to have to wait until I've actually written it. But on the other side, Kitty is quite tired from her working job day, her day working, and is knocked on by another demon. It's Clack. I know that name sounds ridiculous, but I don't care, I like it. And Clack is here to check how things are going with the situation of London. But it's not just as like a demon superior to Kitty, because he's not. Other than the fact that he's originally from Frenrar, which means he has a societal benefit over any of the Earth demons, because racism! I don't think that actually counts as racism, does it? Is that like planetism? I don't know, but that's the thing. The humans are less appreciated than those who originally came from the planet that the demons were created on. Frenrar! Which is this place with a slightly limited map right now. Sorry, this is going to take a second to load because my computer does not deal well with things, and Fire Alpaca deals even worse with them. I understand you guys might be like, oh, you should be editing this, you should be cutting this out and that out. Oh my gosh, that is that is not legible. Whoops. Well, that's not the version of the world I wanted, but it gave you a brief idea. You can see a better one, I think, in last week's video. But, yeah. So there's that, and Kitty and this other demon talk for a bit. Kitty's pretty, like, tired and lethargic, but also lacks a lot of hope. Oh god, that's the one I just opened, brain. Compared to Calikai, but sorry, that was his old name, not his current name. Clack. Sorry if you like that one more. I just really need to take that character away from who he was before and just remake him. So he got quite a bit of change done. But yeah, so her and Clack have this discussion in Kitty's tiny little studio apartment like thing that she's given to live in. She has been working for these demons for about 40 years by the time that Landon comes around. Whereas Clack has been like 400 years, did I say? 200 years, 240 years. He died in his 40s and has been living for roughly 200 years, but they've not kept a good log of it. But these two discuss their secret plan, vaguely, because gotta build intrigue. But also kind of as friends. They're stuck on opposing sides, but they do actually understand and agree with what the other one is trying to do and wants to do. They just both don't believe it's going to work on the other side. So that's a little bit rough for them. That's a bit tricky for them to manage it, and there's a lot of pressure put on them because the side mission that they're dealing with is pretty much put on them. That it's like the responsibility of saving the world against people who are infinitely more powerful than either of them. So after they have the discussion, Landon is formed. You may have seen the last one. There was the other demon creature was forming a body for him. He now has that body, and that body looks like the blue one. Wow, it's so similar, isn't it? Now, the actual Landon as a human we saw in this comic did not wear this outfit. This is actually his demon outfit that I didn't draw his human self in. But I felt like it would make more sense to show him in the same outfit rather than two. This will be his standard outfit, but it will probably update in time. But one kind of thing that I like is I'm a big fan of Scott Pilgrim, and at the start of Scott Pilgrim he wears zero shirts a lot, and that's kind of been stolen here for this, but it's also meant to be like a branding of like, they've done nothing, he's done nothing to help yet. And other demons on their clothes have different symbols to mean different things, different qualities shown in that, as well as these necklaces that they wear. Now, in Landon, it's a half-moon shape, and these are all meant to be little totems, kind of links to who they are, a part of their personality. Landon has, Clack has this very roughly drawn, it looks like a cracked egg or a Pac-Man, but it's meant to be a little flame. And Kitty has this symbol which I designed and I never really thought about it too much. It's a lot like the symbol for male, but you actually fill it in to have like a full triangle base. Does it show there? Yeah, it shows there. And so you might notice with myself, one of the things I like to do is black out some details. That's just Kitty's jumper that she wore in the other episode. That's Clack's little bag, his little messenger bag. And yeah, so we journey with these guys. We find out what's going on, but as you can see, I'm still very much in the early stages, and all I've done is some outlines. And skipped some corners here and there, but again, it's a first draft, it doesn't need to be perfect. See the original repo thing, video, like not my video, but the video that they did to prove the repo was coming out. Let your first draft suck. Just let it do that, because then you have it there, and in like 4 years you can come back and be like, wow, I've done so much better. It is very important, I feel, to just get work on the page, and then keep improving it over time, keep coming back to it, keep working on that, because that's how I have improved. But my method has taken me a very long time, and I'm still not fully happy, as you can tell by the critiques I have in my own video. So just take that time for yourself and figure it out. But for now, I am going to close up this video. I think it's been a good recording session, and I hope that it's been interesting for you guys, and that you would be interested in coming back for more. feel free to drop a subscribe for me. That's not how that phrasing goes. I'm still learning. Sorry, I'm not YouTuber by nature. I'm not even a talker by nature. So hopefully this has been at least partially enjoyable for you guys. If you would prefer me to bring up a script and plan the stuff out, feel free to say. I am not currently doing that because I'm not really seeing many people respond. I had one comment on the last one, but I wasn't sure if that was you know, genuine or if it was a bot. So I'm gonna have to do more investigations. Maybe it's just someone trying to be nice, or one of those follow for follow people, which is also a part of the YouTube ecosystem. So it's not judging anybody, however you do it. As long as you're not ripping someone else off, I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, as long as you're not hurting any animals or children. So, yeah. That will be it. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys very much for watching at this point, if you did. Feel free to ask me any questions or leave any feedback. I would appreciate subscribers if you find something worth subscribing here. I hope you've enjoyed this little rambly experience, and hopefully it gave you the time off. Bye.